What were they doing?
Yes, what were they doing? What were they lacking? What was going right? What was going wrong? And I noticed that most of these academies, actually all of them, at the academies, parents either came, dropped their children, and went away and came back to pick them up later, or they sat there reading newspapers, watching the kids, and doing nothing for themselves. Then I said,
what happens?
That's what happens. Then I said, how about all these parents who are seated here? This is an opportunity for them to also work out. This is an opportunity for them to network, to get to know each other. Instead of sitting in a line scattered, why not sit together, play a game of chess or learn? Play a game of Scrabble, a game of Monopoly. If you feel you're physically active, do some aerobics. Kick a ball. It's a way to network. It's a way to have fun. It's a way to bond with your children.
It's a way to stay healthy.
It's a way to stay healthy because most of these parents will eventually go to the gym after that and pay for the gym. So I said,
why not get it free?
Yes, why not get it here?
In one center.
Exactly. Even if they're paying reasonably less than for the children, it's better that as they're bringing the children, they're also putting on sneakers and football boots. While the children have their activities, they're also having their activities. That's where partly the idea of multi-sport activities came in. So our academy is mainly basketball, but it also has other sports activities, other disciplines. We have football, badminton, chess, Scrabble, Monopoly, because we deal with body and mind. We have volleyball, we have basketball. We have these different activities. Now we are including swimming. It's also coming on board. We've already negotiated with a swimming pool somewhere. So we have the aerobics for the parents. We are including Zumba as well. We are including CrossFit. Yoga is also coming on board. So we have quite a number of other activities that we felt will help the parents, but also help the children be complete children. I'll tell you, a child that plays basketball at the age of 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, by the time they get to 18 years old, they have basketball related skills only. But I'll tell you, a child that has played basketball, football, volleyball, swimming, badminton, swimming, at the age of 5, 6, 7, by the time they get to 12, they are more all-round. By the time they choose to specialize and go into basketball, you will find that even in basketball, they will have better footwork because of football.
Different elements coming from the
because that they'll have better footwork than the other basketballers. They will have better reflexes and lateral movement because of the volleyball. They'll have better anticipation and thinking and strategy because they learn to play chess. By the time they're 18, they are playing only basketball, but they've picked up all these other
different sports.
Exactly. So that is why our motto for the academy is for a complete child.
A complete child.
Yes, that's the motto of the Cab Royals Multi-Sport Academy.
It is Cab Royals Multi-Sport Academy.
Because we are Tropical Royals Sports Club, the senior team is Tropical Royals basketball team, but because we are Royals, we maintain the Royals. Now our logo is the lion, as you can see right here. And what is the young of a lion?
A cab.
Cab. So the Cab Royals are the younger Royals, the academy. Then we also have the programs for the elders, who are the veterans. Now those are called Elder Royals that are coming in. We have a program called, we have a new program also coming up called the Lady Royals, which is specific for, say, the mothers, bigger sisters of this academy.
I would think that would be a ladies team. Are you guys coming up with a ladies team for the new
definitely.
We've been thinking about the ladies team, but that is, we probably will not call them Lady Royals because the Lady Royals is more of a bigger project for the entire club, not only for the basketball team.
Is it also going to be impacting the community?
That is the whole point. And we are looking at the mothers of these children because when we had the academy start, most of the parents, you could say, of the parents that brought their children, 70-80% of them were mothers and not necessarily fathers. The mothers pay more attention to their children and their growth and all that. So we said, how can we come up with projects for mothers where we can use sport to send other messages? We are teaching life skills as well. How do we use sport to send these messages out there? Messages that they may not necessarily get from school, messages they may not necessarily get from their parents, you know, and from community out there. But because they love sport, if we package this message together with something they love,
something that is interesting them.
Exactly. They will come for the fun, but they will pick up a message here and there.
messages.
To
So
the
that is
parents,
the whole
idea.
yes, kind of
Okay.
the whole question.
Yeah.
And now when you bring it back to the sponsors, sorry,
Mm.
the sponsors wanted this, what we are talking about.
Yeah.
They wanted to be connected to something that's helping the community,
Yeah.
something that's involving people, but also something that has a plan, that has
That is going somewhere. In
it
the
is
future.
going somewhere. They have
Has
a
a proper-
direction.
proper
Yeah,
vision.
direction,
Yes.
yeah.
At some point, we are looking at having all these sports as senior teams. We're looking at joining the chess league, for example, next year.
Yeah.
We're looking at having a volleyball team
Yeah.
in the volleyball league. But we're now thinking, okay, instead of having a volleyball team for men and we have a basketball team for women, how about we instead start a volleyball team for women?
Yeah.
That way we capture the women's side,
Women's
we
side,
also capture the men's
men's
side,
side.
but we are able to chew what we can swallow. We're not chewing too much,
yeah,
which we
yeah.
can't swallow. At the same time, it's also not good to do things you can't manage.
Yeah, that's true.
So if we can manage bit by bit, maybe eventually, if we can start the ladies team for
Volleyball.
volleyball, and we have another team for the intellectuals, for the mind, to help with the mind, say chess.
Yeah.
Later on, we can join the Scrabble League. Later on, we can have a volleyball team for men. Later on, we can have
Ladies
a ladies basketball team.
Yeah.
You know, but for football, at the moment, not yet. We want to start with the smaller
these other
sports.
disciplines.
But we are still trying to get a partnership with different football clubs to see if we can work together.
And work together.
Yeah.
Children who grow
The
up
framework is there,
can
yes.
join,
Yeah,
their teams elsewhere.
Yeah.
If basketball is not their thing,
You can
football
always
is their
branch
thing.
off to something. Yeah.
Kind of something.
Yeah.
To the parents watching out there who would want to enroll their children, their nephews, nieces,
Yeah.
relatives, how does one get to be part of the academy? What is the procedure as we wind up?
One of the things that we advise them to do is to first of all follow our social media pages, because we usually share information
Yeah.
on there.
On your platform?
Yes, on our platforms. That's our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our YouTube channel is mainly to show some games of ours, but it's for the senior team. But our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, no, Facebook,
Instagram.
Twitter, Instagram, all of them have the same handle, at Tropical Royals.
At Tropical Royals.
At Tropical Royals.
Okay.
They can always contact us there after seeing what we have. They see some pictures, videos of what we're doing. We already moved into some schools and did some project for some kindergarten schools and all that. They can see what we're doing, what we've done in the community, and if they appreciate it and feel they would like to be part of it, they can feel free to contact us, inbox. Our contacts are on the social media platforms, especially our Facebook, Tropical Royals Sports Club. They can find all the information there. And if they like and follow, it's easy for them to keep getting notifications.
Okay.
And they can get in touch with us. At the moment, we are not running because of the
whole
COVID situation. We're also
Yeah.
trying to study it and see how to resume. But we are planning to resume hopefully within the period of about September, because we should have resumed earlier, which was by the month of June this month. But because the league was going on, and like I said, we don't want to chew what we cannot swallow, we said, can we focus our energies on the senior team, have them perform, and the moment the season is done,
then you can get into
we can get into the
activities.
academy. But as that's going on, we are still doing the preparations. One of the major preparations that was taking up our minds was the shift in venue, because our academy was previously at MOOBS, where the senior team still trains. But now we are moving it from MOOBS to the Bogolobi area, Bogolobi Flats. Previously, there was a basketball court that was last used in 2008. And we've just been engaged with the management of the area. They did not
2008.
2008, yes. They didn't want basketball there because apparently children were getting spoiled, and they were abusing drugs and, alcohol and all that. And now here we came up with this program and said, but this program is actually to bring them from those things.
To create change.
Exactly, to create change for the community.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they approved it, and we received a letter about 3 weeks ago where they were approving Tropical Royals Academy, the Cab Royals Academy, to get there. So now the next step we're looking at is how do we revamp the court? How do we rehabilitate the basketball
Change
court?
it and make it playable.
Exactly. So I'm now looking for partners to come on board. we discuss how we are going to do branding and marketing for them in exchange. But the main point is how can they come on board and support the community. For them, it's a project like a CSR project.
CSR
they're helping
project.
the community,
Yeah.
but they're helping children. Right now with COVID, schools are closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids
Children
at
are
home,
in their homes.
42 days.
Institutions
Yes.
are also closed.
The Bogolobi flats alone have about 962 apartments.
Yeah.
You can imagine how many children
kids
are
are
in those
inside.
apartments.
Just that
If you say each
area.
apartment has 1 to 2 children on average, you're looking at about almost 2,000
Yeah, almost 2,000
children.
kids. Yeah.
These guys are doing nothing. Their parents get up in the morning and go to work. When they're at work, you don't know what these children are doing.
You know
Many of them are adolescents. Let's say half of them.
Yeah.
That's about 1,000 of them.
Mm.
You don't know what they're doing. They have nothing keeping them busy.
You don't know what information they are consuming.
Getting,
And they are in that stage of adolescence, in long-term athlete development. There is that stage of adolescence where, if you know the characteristics of adolescent children, that's the time where they want to be independent.
yeah.
That's the time where they're trying out new things.
Yeah.
Big
That's the time where there's a
rebellious.
lot of peer pressure,
Yeah.
there's a lot of temptation,
Yeah.
there's so much. Now, if they are not controlled, because the parents are at work, what happens to them? So this was our message to the Bogolobi community. We're saying, let's bring these sports activities there.
Yeah.
We run
Eliminate
them
this.
for you. We manage them with our professional coaches who are all qualified. None of our coaches in our academy does not have a level 1 qualification. For
certification.
example.
Yeah.
Yes. How do we do that? We're not just saying any player can just retire from the game or just come and coach. No.
Yeah.
Even them, however good you are as a player.
There has to be a level of professionalism.
Yes, can you, if they are going to coach, they come as assistant coaches, as apprentices.
Oh.
They are learning, like on some kind of internship,
Yeah.
until they do the coaching course.
Yeah.
When they do the FIBA level 1 coaching course and pass, that's
Then
when we give them an
They're
age category.
elevated to
And we tell them now you can manage under 16, you
Yeah.
can manage under 18 girls or boys.
Yeah.
You can manage, that is exactly what we are trying to do for the community.
Yeah.
And I believe that, of course, it's difficult when you're starting and you're trying
Yeah,
to do things a
everything is
certain way.
difficult.
every
But I-
startup has a hurdle.
Exactly, has challenges. But we are not changing our direction. We're not changing what we are planning. We are moving in that direction, and we believe it's the right direction. We believe sport needs to be looked at better,
Yeah.
or in a more professional aspect
Yeah.
than just take a to get it and just let's just go
Start
kick a
something
ball
and
or
just
just
go
throw
and
a ball
sweat
here
and
and there.
sweat a bit.
Exactly.
Go back home.
Not everybody is built for books.
That's very
Not
true.
everybody is built to be a doctor or a lawyer. I am here. I'm a land surveyor by profession. I hold a master's in real estate, but I am pushing my sports and more than all these others.
Yeah.
Why? This is my passion.
Passion, yeah.
I still do the others, but this is my
That
passion.
is your passion.
Now, there are young children out there who have a passion, who have the ability,
Yeah.
who have the skills, and all they need is the opportunity.
And the direction.
Opportunity and direction, mostly
Can we
like
give
MSA.
them that? If we give them that, this is now where our discussions with schools come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we've been talking to schools and saying, could you offer us just 5 scholarships for a basketball team? We will give you some of our children from our academy. They'll play for your your school team,
Yeah.
but they will be studying.
Yeah.
Can we have this arrangement?
So
The
that
school says
all parties are benefiting.
exactly.
Yeah.
They are
School is
benefiting. The
Tropical
children are
Warriors is
benefiting. Exactly.
Yeah.
We are
And-
benefiting. Thank
Yeah.
you very
Pretty
much.
good. It's a pretty good thing,
So-
actually.
Yeah, it's an all-round thing, but I'll tell you that some of these sponsors came on board because of that project, and
Yeah.
not necessarily because of our senior team.
Yeah.
So bringing you back when you talk of the LLMC or some teams in FUBA or what, they probably do not have
That aspect.
those aspects that we have,
Yeah.
or they probably do not have other aspects that they could use. Their own aspects. Not every team has to have an academy.
Yeah.
They can have their own projects,
Yeah.
merchandising companies or whatever. They can do so many things with sports
Yeah.
management, sports agency,
Yeah.
For players,
Yeah.
get players and sell
Yeah,
them,
contracts,
connect them
Which is
out
one of
there.
the things we actually don't have in the country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are so many things that clubs can do, but they don't go out to think that wide or to even think that deep.
Yeah.
And probably because they also have the same mindset that basketball, we shall do it after work. I'll do my things from 8 to 5.
Yeah.
After work, I'll go and
Go
be
play
with my team
basketball, yeah.
and play, and then I'll go home.
home.
I'll give them transport and go.
Yeah.
If you do not think about it that deeply, you will not get such projects. By the way, you can even be just a team, but the way you package your team,
Yeah.
the way you brand it. My team joined the league in 2018.
Yeah.
This is our third season. We played
It's a very young
2018,
team.
2019. But the question I could ask you is, how come after 2 years of playing in the league,
You have 4 sponsors.
we have 4 sponsors, yet we've never
The
made the
teams that have
playoffs?
been there for
Yes,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
never even made the playoffs in a lower division
Yeah.
category. We were 13th out of 16 in 2018. We
Yeah.
were 9th out of 16 in 2019. 2020 season did not happen, but we have 4 sponsors.
yeah.
So and yet there are teams that have been champions,
Yeah.
teams that which are
don't
not
have-
even participating in the league, which are bottom of the table.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, at the end of the day, it's about packaging. How do you package what you have? Do you have something that's sustainable? Do you have something that these sponsors believe they can benefit from?
Yeah.
Most of these sponsors do not just want to be seen out there. They actually want to help. Because the people in these companies that we're talking about,
Yeah.
Bella is not a company per se. Bella is the people that work for this brand.
Yeah.
Abby is not Abby the clinic, the hospital, because it can move. Abby is the people that
people
work for Abby, that represent Abby.
Yeah.
Now, there are people, the directors, there are people there that actually want to help because they are human.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The owner of Bella is a lady. If you know her, she's called Ukonika, I forget their name. She is Prudence. She is a very, very passionate person about the girl child. Very passionate about helping young girls develop, avoid early child pregnancies, run away from antisocial behavior and these boys and the adolescents we've talked about and all that. So when we were packaging this product of our academy, I went and told her, imagine with all this COVID going on, girls are not going to school.
Yeah.
Even parents probably do not have the money to send them to school. If they have a boy or a girl, they'll probably send the boy to school and not the girl.
The girl, that's true.
How can we help these girls? When I spoke with her, she said, by the way, we had a meeting. We were supposed to have a meeting for 1.5 hours. In that meeting, we sat for less than 15 minutes. By I think minute 12, 13, because I looked at my watch. She said, Brian, stop there. I see where you're going. I know where you're going, and that's where we want to go. Bella is in. This is the MD. This is the real founder.
He closed the deal in 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes. And that's after the pleasantries and hello, and this is our club, we do this. She said, I see where you're going. That is where we want to be. We want to partner with you. Please do not go any further. Can I plan to leave now? We're going for another appointment. Can we move? Your thing is already done. Deal with operations. We are in. And it was as simple as that.
Brilliant,
right now I'm
very
wearing
quick.
Bella and
Brilliant.
Getting free drinks here.
Brilliant ideas that Brian has. It is and it has been Slam Dunk Basketball Talk. My name is Felix Seopal. This is Emmanuel Ateng. In studio today, we've been having Brian Rugendo. And to the viewers out there, I hope you also picked a leaf when it comes to sports management. Brian, thank you so much for gracing Slam Dunk Basketball.
cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. Until we meet next Saturday, have a pleasant afternoon.
Young people at the moment are struggling to understand the older generation because times have changed. Technology has come in.
They've moved on.
Yes.
We're the ones sitting back and wondering, what is my child on to? TikTok has surpassed WhatsApp. The other one I call, I never call it Facebook, it's Bookface. Why are you on Bookface? Dad, it's Facebook.
Yes.
Me, I keep saying,
Yeah.
I have a foot amongst the millennials.
Yeah.
I understand the traditionalists.
Okay.
There's a song in the 60s, by the way, and
Yeah.
in the 90s, 70s, where they're like, parents don't understand.
Yes.
Remember Prince?
Yes.
Prince.
It is a CEO bench on a Friday here in Kampala, straight out of the capital city of Uganda to the rest of the world, is when we bring you the CEOs who are on the rise, or those who are already on the top, or those who are leaving the hot seat, coming down. What's next for a leader is what the CEO bench is all about. And of course, this week in the studio, my guest needs no introduction. He's a man who has done it. He's a man who has been on the journey. The man on top, Elijah Chitaka. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
They say we are supposed to bonga, but also now they're saying we can't do this because
Probably.
of COVID-19.
Right.
But welcome to the program. How are you doing?
I am good. I'm good. I'm busy.
Okay.
It's such a busy time.
Okay.
I think it's very busy for technologists. I guess that's the upside of the pandemic,
Yes.
if there is such a thing.
Yes.
It's kind of placed technologists in a very unique position at this time. I think that a lot of the technologists are like me. They're as busy as we are, and we're not complaining.
Yes.
It's a good relief.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting thing because some of us are struggling to find what to do. And some of us are now questioning, did I make the right decision when I was in school? Did I study the right thing? Or should I go back and study technology so I can be relevant for the time? And all of these things are going on in people's minds. And so many people seem to think that it's only doom and gloom.
Yeah.
There's nothing light about it. But you're saying you're very busy, and which is a very interesting part of the discussion. But welcome to the program, Elijah. The CEO bench exists to bring the life of those who are on the journey to the forefront. And of course, when somebody makes it to the CEO, part of their life is always about organization that you have worked for before, and many of them. I was reading one of your interviews and listening to them, and you're talking about Google, you're talking about Barclays Bank, you're talking about the journey is about other people, places,
Yeah.
but not about Elijah Chitaka. So we want to start from a very lighter note.
Okay.
Who is Elijah Chitaka?
I'm Ugandan, first of all. I think that's important to clarify. A lot of people get confused for whatever reason. I think it used to be worse when I had, when I was young and I had dreadlocks.
Yes.
And I was still traveling around Africa quite often. and people always assumed I wasn't Ugandan. But I'm Ugandan. I was born and raised here. I studied here. I'm a computer science grad from a famous school of computer science at Makerere University. I consider myself a music enthusiast. I call myself a music industry entrepreneur. I've started many companies that target musicians because I believe that's my who. That's who I'm here to serve, in this world to serve. But I've also done many things in music. I've been on radio for 16 years. Long as that sounds, I've been on Radio 1 for a very long time.
Yeah.
I've been involved in the world of jazz for equally a long time. So mostly I revolve around family, music, and technology. So today you said I shouldn't talk too much about my day job as a technology executive, but that's my other life. I can't quite split that from myself because the line between work and life is now more blurred than ever.
Yeah.
But for many technologists, it's always been. So it's just, that's the package of who you become.
Yes.
It's what you do, what you believe, and who you serve.
Okay.
I think that's the total of who you become.
True.
Yeah.
I think I liked the preamble, and one of my next question to get pretty much into knowing who you are, Elijah. If you were to take us to a story of your journey from childhood to where you are right now, did you ever see yourself becoming who you are today? And what was the journey like, or what has been the journey like to this moment?
Did I ever see? I can't say I ever saw, but I'm also not shocked. And I'm not sounding arrogant or anything.
Yeah.
I think that I've been lucky to have a few people around me that have really believed in me a lot from a very early stage. And those people caused me to believe in myself. You know how you meet someone and they believe strongly in you. You're convinced this must be true.
Yes.
So one of those people is my brother. My brother is called Patrick Mukalazi. And fortunately or unfortunately, he relocated to the UK. But he was very instrumental in forming who I've become.
Yeah.
And to me, I credit him as the first person that really had strong convictions about my path and what I should be doing. And he was really convinced that I was meant to be in entrepreneurship. I was meant to start companies, and I was meant to figure out, what we call 0-1, figure out spaces that hadn't been figured out.
Yeah.
So much so that he started me off with my very first computer and $300 to start my first company back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So when you talk about my journey and did I see myself here, because of such people, I'm not surprised. Most of these are much older than me. So they must have seen something. So they kind of guided, either consciously or unconsciously, they guided who I became. And so it wasn't a big shock, that this is where I ended up. And then on the music side, I grew up in church. My mom is a big church person. And so and church is synonymous with music.
Yeah.
A lot of great singers globally, and even here, come from church. A lot of them have a church background. So I've always been exposed to live